Hi beautifuls, welcome back. A very punchy intro. I'm YILDIZ from YILDIZ Readings. I'm a psychic medium. I cover the astrology and twin flame path. This week we're having a look at your energy surrounding romance for your zodiac sign. I do have the members zone that does coaching relating to twin flame path where we can speak candidly and privately if that's something you're interested in. But very separately, I do come to you regularly live for the twin flame updates. So with this video, we're going to tune into your romance zone. If you do want a private booking, the link is below. Love and light, guys. Grab a cuppa, relax, and let's get into your energy update for this week with the extension read after in the members zone. Hi beautiful Aquarius. Okay, we are here to do your psychic energy update with the tarot, the oracles, the crystals for your romance house for the next week from the 8th through to the 15th. Now, some of you may be having a sudden return, so it can be this can be a hard month. It's for a lot of you, the moon is transiting, Venus is transiting. As we move through the next 3 days, it's really hitting that Aquarian placement, which is your first house placement, quite hard. So it could feel like everything's coming at you. It may feel you are psychoanalyzing yourself. You are best to be careful with it. Now, the way people are seeing you might be projected towards you, or it could go vice versa. Now, I've pulled the crystal you have in your romance house from the 8th through to the 15th, and it can also go all the way through to the 17th. Now, the crystal's in reverse. I'll try and get it. My emotions are balanced. I react to others in an objective and loving way. Now, higher octane Aquarians are looking at observing, understanding the responsibility, the power of magician energy and dealing with that. Others can be very, healing, feeling burdened. This can be, and I'm going to pull a chakra card. You guys are relating to the Uranian energy. Also base chakra. So if you do feel that your foundation is feeling iffy, or your routine, you've got too much coming at you, it will make sense. But also in your hopes, dreams and aspirations, a lot of crown chakra download, but a lot of base chakra. So it's almost like trying to balance those two. You may not feel very balanced at this point. Yeah, fair base frequency, unmotivated, or other people. If you're not getting the outcome you need, just pause for a minute, okay? Because it is a pretty hectic week for you. Be gentle with yourself. Let's have a look at what's coming up. Now, number one, the ruin is such. We're going to read from the book. And I have pulled a chakra for both you and your love interest. Now, in the ruin book, this relates to Raven, Mercury. We currently have Mercury retrograde in your first house. Wednesday and air. Deity Odin. Advice, communication, contemplation, inspiration, authority, very Aquarian energy. Tradition, blessing, and verbal skills. You might not feel balanced. You might find things lower frequency. You may not be, you might be hungry. Some of you, depending on where your purging's at and your emotions in this romantic connection and your external circumstances, because it can affect your romance house, you might feel disillusioned, misunderstandings can occur, lies, intellectual stagnation. There is something of a vibrational nature changing. Now, some of you could be reflecting upon previous connections of values, and you want to move forward. You want good luck, you want movement forward. We have to be careful how we're maintaining that, okay? You may be ready to, but you may feel another person is not moving in the fashion that you feel. Now, you're wanting, it's almost like you're not wanting to leave a soldier behind. And some of these reads I've pulled like clarifiers prior to the extension, which I'll go deep into it after. But it is because I do see, it's almost like my guides are telling me, okay, no, we need to look at that deeper. Now, you have this need where you want this to turn out correctly. There could be something There could be good news relating to the hard work you've done. You may learn something this week relating to the past through this process. Some of you may be looking over old letters. Some of you may be journaling and seeing the way, it might be a photo, it might be a situation that pops up and it reminds you of that circumstance, and you may not resonate with that. Now, what I mean by you might not resonate with it, how you felt previously may not be how you feel after the new moon in Aquarius, which is occurring on the 11th. As we move to about the 9th, we have very heavy hitting Aquarian placements. It's first house. You can take things personal. You can feel very imbalanced. I strongly advise you balance your lower chakras and you keep your fluid up, because it can feel very life-changing. It can be very personal, but there is a huge energy relating to bringing everything together. Some of you may be having this feeling that, did you do all you could? There may be moments where you feel very angry and moments where you feel very grounded in ultimate compassion. You could have a very strong standpoint this week in an emotional experience relating to these circumstances, but I do feel you're going to have a light bulb moment in relation to the ruin, which can be communication. Now, it might be, as I said, something you read, you may get a message, somebody may explain a circumstance from the past, or it could be even through your journaling that you have an epiphany moment. Might even be looking at Facebook and seeing an old message or an old photo, an adjoining situation, and where you are there to where you are now is different. I do feel some of you are wanting to clarify a lie. I do feel some of you are feeling that there have been misunderstandings and you're trying to clear it up, but you haven't felt that people are on that same page in your opinion. Because this, values, karma, reaping what we sow. You may feel a little bit judged, but you also are worried about people's value systems. And maybe in your very firm belief, there's some information that comes to you. You're not allowed to tell anyone, but you're being very cautious how you deal with it. I'm kind of feeling you have an idea how to change a circumstance around. You do need to be careful, because I'm feeling a sneaky energy. But this could be on your side. It could be because information is power, and something that comes to you could really serve you, but it could cause drama. So just be careful. What is this? This could be in relation to a partnership or something you're passionate about. But I feel like some of you are going to hear some information, and you're going to want to communicate this to them. But I'm being guided to say be very careful. Now, I'm going to work out why this is, because this feels karma related. Maybe I'll pull a tarot. Yeah, it's something to do with your connection and how to get the connection and balance. This information might be to do with the person from the past. Okay? You've got to be careful where you're getting your information from, because I do feel if there's a different energy that's coming in to support you, they're not who you think they are. Be careful of this information. Don't take everything as gospel in this next week. Use your instincts. You're very, very closely guarded to use your instincts, because I'm feeling as though this information is misinformed or come to you in an inappropriate manner. It does give you hope, but there's something that's not being shown to you. I feel like you're being baited. Okay. Yeah, you guys have to be careful this week. What I'm seeing is a circumstance playing out to tidy up a situation. For those of you that are single, this is what's being shown to me. You may hear through the grapevine that connection's over. You also may hear about a previous person who had betrayed you and have some information about the bigger picture. This could make you angry, but you need to assess if that still hurts you. Because I feel it's almost like somebody's baiting you, and you need to be careful who you trust. Now, in love, how do I put it? I'm seeing by your love interest energy, you know, you could have things to do with stability coming up. You may be coming to the table quite stable, earnest, honest, hardworking. Yes, you could have communication from this individual. And I do feel the passion and the connection is there, but there's an external scenario playing out here. Now, some of these things that this person is telling you is so. And I feel if you're not in communication and you do hear it through the grapevine or directly from that person, I feel it's relevant. But there's definitely a circumstance that hasn't tied up yet. So the movement is delayed relating to that circumstance. My phone's going off. Allow this to cycle through. What they're saying is true, but I do feel the person has the tools to be able to handle this, and you need to trust the process. Also, there could be a family-related dynamic, a parent. Just look at it in the bigger picture. You know, what are you getting into? What are the responsibilities? Yes, the outcome is romance, but there's something here that is unfinished. I feel you may miss some details due to the fact that you're excited, but I'm being guided to show you create the healthy boundary. And it's probably with yourself that you don't bite off more than you can chew, that you slow down and take your time. And this ruin is about trusting advice, but go to a sought after person for such. Listen, have the communication. Somebody could be saying, slow down, okay, I've got to deal with X, Y, and Z. If you're in this current connection, you might be, you know, hearing some home truths relating to this person, having some ideas, needing to mull over them. It is very, what would the word be? It is very traditional, but you're taking the traditional approach. Not necessarily will this traditional approach effectively fix it, but it is being shown it's the other person's kind of situation to deal with. Be careful of who you're talking to, Aquarius. You may look at one person as a victim, and something you say to them potentially can get through the grapevine. Be very, very selective of who you talk to. You may see an element of you in them and feel this person, and I don't think this is the romantic interest. This is the surrounding energy is very separate, but it's causing a dynamic. If you're unsure, some of you could be talking to somebody in relation to your feelings, and I'm gonna pull an, what card should I use? Okay, I'm just gonna trust my intuition. I'm gonna pull 3 cards. The reason I'm feeling this because there's 3 parts. 1. Now this could be 3 individuals, 3 parts. Now, let's see what it says. Number 1, someone who broke your heart is coming back for a clearing. This can be mentally or physically. The next one, your guides are working with you to bring this in. If you feel a person is affecting, and this doesn't have to be a romantic interest, there can be 3 parts, there can be 3 individuals. You can be talking to multiple people. Be careful, because there is something getting through the grapevine that can get out. It could merely be you're trying to understand a love partner, you're trying to come to terms with it, but somebody's taking something out of context. One person is saying, have you solved that issue of the past? Are you ready to move forward? And this can be you asking Aquarius. Have you solved that issue from the past? Can we move forward? You may be under the assumption it is. It almost is, and it is going to be dealt with, but it's not on our clock. What do I mean by that? Do you think it's just completed? And there's various stages of separations or tying up of loose ends, be it you coupled or singled. You may have wounds relating to a person that hurt you. You may feel you want to have somebody in your life and you're trying to move away from a dynamic, but something keeps pulling you back. You won't be able to move forward till the situation's resolved, but the moving forward can directly be with that individual, or it could be with just moving on to a new phase, which I do feel it's a new phase and it will be positive moving through. You'll probably have more of that happening after the new moon in Aquarius, but at this point it can be frustrating. Whoever this person is, I'm going to pull one card and we're going to get into the extension. Who's this toxic person? Okay, they could be a real comedian. I'm also thinking they may be very connected to you. They could act very friendly. They could be reminiscing about the past. Again, this isn't the romantic partner. This is a circumstance you're being warned about that could potentially affect the connection. Now, both of you have a lot of chemistry. You have a lot of similar ideals. It comes through differently. There's a little bit of stagnation, but it's not permanent. This external person, you may not have seen them since prior to Christmas last year. It could be something that occurred back then that hasn't been finalised. But I feel they come through very bubbly, very playful, like everything's fine. Remember back in the heyday. I'm just really feeling with the people that you have around you. I'm not saying don't talk. Trust your instincts. You know, don't tread where angels fear to tread, you know. Because these energies, they're very toxic, okay? Who are these individuals, please? For some of you, it could be a family member. For some of you, I'm seeing a grandmother energy, but it's weird. It feels like they're separate to these, but it could mirror those people. Maybe the grandmother energy was very positive. Okay, who are these energies, please? Yeah, they're people that seem quite traditional and that have their life together, but there is a test. Values can differ. You know, the value systems, it doesn't mean we're both on the same page. There's somebody who's trying to act really friendly, like they're on the same page as you, they directly understand, but you do need to be mindful. Now, for some of you, I do feel multiple people find your partner very attractive. This can be your love interest, and this can be something you're just coming to terms with that you find and others find this partner appealing. It doesn't feel an issue. Don't feed it energy. This conversation is going to come up. You are going to see eye to eye with each other, but you need to have an eagle eye. I would say have an eagle eye the next week. I do feel this forward movement. This person's dealing with the circumstance. They're trying to tie up the situation. It's icky. That's all I can say. It's not as simple as you think, but it will be simplified. Once it's simplified and dealt with, it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's quicker than you think. I will get into the extension read. Please listen to these last messages and do come and join us for the extension read if you can. Otherwise, feel free to join us with the super chat and the lives. And I'll see you during the month. Stay tuned for these last messages. Should you need a booking, you can go to the link below. Also, do bear in mind, I do live twin flame reads where you can join me to get that soul healing, as well as you do get the week by week romance and more. So I love you lots, guys. Please join us later. If you do want to watch the extension, as I mentioned, you can go to the link on the main page and it will take you directly to it. I will try and remember to place it in the video. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.